What do you mean by that?
All right, who's next?
Let's see who's stronger.
Oh boy, we got something to talk about today. I ain't doing no script. I'm just discussing it, y'all, off the top of my dome, because this news is immaculate. This news sounds pretty good and pretty weird at the same time. You know what I mean? So we got something big to talk about today. And it's about something from Reddit, aka Patreon. So, haha, I never use this site for any type of content. Rarely, bro. So apparently, a leaker, Daniel Richmond, claimed on his Patreon that Netherrealm Studios is developing a Marvel fighting game for next-gen consoles. I'm already hyped for that. If you ain't got your PS5, your Xbox Series X, I know it's impossible to get these right now because we still at a peak of a pandemic, okay? It is very hard, and I hope you get your consoles. I hope everybody gets a chance to experience Spider-Man Miles Morales at least. And you know, we finna have Ratchet and Clank and Guilty Gear Strive and all these other games that you could probably get on last gen's consoles, but they are the best right now on next gen. I hope you get yours. With that being said, let me read this article and give y'all my thoughts about it. According to notable leaker and industry insider Daniel Richmond via Stealth Optional, Netherrealm is developing a Marvel fighting game for next-gen consoles. Details are thin on the ground at this point, but Richmond claims that the game is already in production. Now, that's crazy because in the past, I think it was like last year or probably a year before that, Ed Boon did have a interview around Mortal Kombat 11's release or DLC period that he did have talks with Marvel. It's possible because he already has a connection with Warner Brothers, and if they make a deal, it can be like a thing. It's not entirely crazy to potentially get Marvel versus DC. I think what they will probably do though, Marvel will probably like to have it to where like, hey yo, we don't want our heroes getting beat up by these heroes, because that's what happened with Infinite. So I think this game will not even be Marvel versus DC. I think it'll just be a Netherrealm Marvel fighting game. The guy says, edit, for those confused, yes, NRS could legally do a Marvel fighter if Disney and WB made a deal. I said that a few seconds ago. They've already worked together in the past for Lego Marvel and Star Wars games, along with Lego Incredibles and a Cars 3 tie-in game. Ed Boon confirmed that he has talks with Marvel, but didn't speak about that further. So yeah, it's probably happening, and you're probably like, whoa, this is kind of big, right? Here's my personal opinion with Netherrealm Studios right now. I'm a huge fan of the Mortal Kombat series. I grew up, it's a part of my childhood. One of my best homies, we used to have rivalries as early as Mortal Kombat. I want to say what, Deception? So there's that. I'm a big fan of Injustice 2. I love Injustice 2 gameplay. Generally, my favorite archetype or characters to play in fighting games are zoners. So you can already know that's how I feel about zoning in fighting games. And you also know how I probably feel about the competitive seed of Injustice 2. However, I do understand that some people find that type of gameplay very, very boring or whatever, right? There's people that also, like me, I do not like MK11 like that. Well, I love MK11 for everything, but it's natural gameplay. I don't like what they tried to go with that game. It was not hidden for me. Personally, wasn't having fun. Another issue that I probably had was that at that point, I was so heavily into like anime fighting games. I got into those and using everything with my arcade stick, my Kombat Obsidian, that playing on the controller was kind of weird. Okay, like I really don't touch a controller unless I'm playing like an action or a story game nowadays. Even with the PS5 remote, you will barely see me play anything that's fighting related with the PS5 controller. I don't even like the PS5 controller like that. So there's that. I didn't even know. I also, before someone says, well, you could have put on release check or change the controls for arcade stick. Yeah, but it's like, it's weird, okay? It's just weird. Anyway, I will say this off rip. I do not want the game to play like Mortal Kombat 11. If they make it an advanced, better version of MK11, albeit I am fine for that. However, I would like them to either try to go back to MKX or Injustice 2 like gameplay. Heck, I'll even attempt going back to something completely new or fresh. Just do something that makes me not feel like I'm playing MK11. That's probably one of my least favorite fighting games that came out last gen. Mortal Kombat 11, personally, from a gameplay perspective, was probably the weakest fighting game I've touched on the last generation of gaming, and I pretty much touched every fighting game for the channel and other reasons within the last 3 years. I will also say that I don't think whatever comes out from this with Netherrealm, if it's real, fake, or not, I don't think that this game will ever be better than Marvel vs. Capcom and what Capcom has done with that series, period. I'm sorry. I know I grew up with it. I'm not even nostalgic. I am just a very big bias towards tag games. If this game somehow learned how to be tag, cool. But I think Marvel vs. Capcom is like one of the greatest, or if not one of the top 5 best fighting game series of all time. And Netherrealm never really touches that for me personally. So there's another thing or another opinion. And then the last question is, when can we see or probably get a reveal of this upcoming Netherrealm Studios Marvel fighting game for next gen consoles? Well, there's some couple places I can think off the top of my head. Number one, E3 is coming back. E3 is like literally around the corner. We're like less than 2 months away, probably less than weeks away, honestly. And I can see them announcing it there. Netherrealm Studios is not going to have their own show floor per se, but you can probably see it at a Sony conference or a Sony State of Play. It could potentially be at Microsoft conference. Like Microsoft be going hard with their conferences, you know. So there's that. Who knows? There's endless possibilities on what can this game come out or when we'll see our first look at it. And then there's the potential of just doing another Game Awards reveal. Mortal Kombat 11, I believe, came out 2 to 3 years ago. We're kind of round in the cycle for something new from Netherrealm. Usually Netherrealm games take at least 3 to 4 year cycles to do anything. And they've probably been working on this game at the same time as developing or finishing Mortal Kombat 11. That's all I feel like was going to happen. If anything, the earliest we'll probably be playing this game is probably in 2022. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is my little quick discussion on the upcoming Netherrealm fighting game or rumor, leak, whatever y'all want to call it video, man. Just hit the like button, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Tell me, who would you want to see in a Marvel Netherrealm fighting game? I know that just don't even sound right yet, but who would you like to see? I want to play with Miles Morales. I like Black Widow. There's so many characters I like in the MCU. I'm going to be playing Iron Man. Y'all already know how I am out here. So yeah, it's your boy, Avataryaya. And remember, you guys are golden and that is raw. Squalla, peace. And I'm out.
I've been the devil, I need me an arc in the heart. Am I breathing? I feel like Tanjiro. Walking this bitch with a Zapato. I'll let you rock it, I keep me a domino. Bitch, I'm a dip and I feel like Kazaki. Stretching that pussy out like it's Pilates. I'm dashing the soul like right out of a body. Fire, I'm spitting, I feel like Dobby. White bitch, blonde hair, looking like Lucy. She from Kyoshi, I paint her face Suki.